What can Kristi Noem teach us about the importance of listening to experts? Kristi Noem is, of course, the outgoing Secretary of Homeland Security who President Trump fired today, and your favorite political commentator would love to talk to you about that on either side of the aisle, but I have a different tale to tell. In fact, I wrote the outline for this video last night before the news of her firing even broke. Because I tell this story about Kristi Noem at least once a month. It's my favorite way to explain the importance of listening to experts in their field, not just yes men who are inclined to agree with you. As such, it is not a partisan story, and there is something here for Democrats and Republicans to learn from and agree with. I should also say I only know this story because of Michael Schaefer's excellent reporting in Politico, and you should go read that full article. It goes like this. Before her now ended tenure as Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem was the governor of South Dakota and a major up-and-comer in Republican politics. So much so, in fact, that she was one of the leading contenders to be Donald Trump's running mate for the 2024 election. But she lost that opportunity when she herself revealed in her 2024 memoir, No Going Back, that she had shot and killed her 14-month-old dog, Cricket. Noem reportedly thought that the story conveyed her decisiveness as a leader, but you don't need to be John Wick to know Americans love their dog, and the firestorm over the revelation completely torpedoed her chances at the VP nod. Now, not telling people that you like to use puppies for target practice probably seems like obvious political insight to all of you. But here's the rub. She had actually tried to tell that story a full 2 years earlier in her debut memoir, Not My First Rodeo. But that book was published by Hachette's nonpartisan prestige imprint, 12 Books, and had all of the agents and ghostwriters and editors in the room who were experts in their job and pretty quickly saw, hey, this story isn't going to go over so well. And they're the ones who managed to convince her to cut it out. But when it came time to write the 2024 book, not only had Kristi Noem ditched her original team, but she had switched from that nonpartisan prestige imprint to Hachette's somewhat ironically named conservative-leaning imprint, Center Street. And no one in that room of politically aligned yes men was able to raise their hand and say, hey, Governor Noem, I don't think you should tell America you shot your dog. The thing to understand about politicians and CEOs or other prominent figures is that they are surrounded by yes men, and 95% of the time, they're the most important person in whatever room they're in. That status confers a sort of gravity that, in my experience, warps your brain over time and becomes really, really hard to resist. Obviously, we don't know everything that was said behind closed doors, but the takeaway here, besides for the obvious vis-a-vis canine firing squads, should be that when you are in a position of power, it is important to empower and listen to the experts hired to help you, not just rely on yes men who already agree with you.